days for Arsenal, a golden era for football. The team in those days was a hard-working blend of youth and experience. They used to be called boring old Arsenal, an image they resented. It rankled then, and it rankles now. Not surprising, really.
Ross. Oh, and now Graham. Picked off for Samuels. Graham! Oh, a fine goal! George Graham! And what a goal it was!
After winning the championship, it was abide with me time.
Charlie George. Bradford. Oh, Charlie George, who can hit him? Oh, a great goal! Charlie George! Oh, what a fabulous goal by George! And Arsenal have won, and they've done the double.
And will that be the story of the 1988-89 League Championship? Well done, Arsenal. Hard luck, Liverpool. If it is, it'll only be part of the story. Whatever happens between now and the end of the season, the memory of Hillsborough will never be erased, nor should it be. But there's everything to play for, and there'll be nothing half-hearted about the Liverpool challenge. So what of Arsenal, who play Norwich here this evening? Their manager, George Graham, with Jim Rosenthal.
George, it's a very difficult time for everybody in football. How have you managed to get your team in the right frame of mind for our live match?
Well, it has been very difficult after such an enormous tragedy. But time's a great healer. Life's got to go on. Football as well. We've had 2 weeks without a match. It has been difficult in the training sessions. But hopefully everything can gel well tonight and we can have a good performance and obviously the 3 points.
Even in your own team, though, you've got players saying they'll give away their winner's medal if you do win the league. How can you get rid of that real deep feeling?
Well, I think at the time it was a very emotional comments to make, and it's very understandable. But as I said, time is a great healer, and now we've got to get on with the job of work. We have worked very, very hard this season, obviously before the tragedy, and it'd be a shame, actually, if we threw all that away down the drain.
People might just have forgotten how the league table looks. How do you see Arsenal's position, obviously in relation to Liverpool?
Well, at the present time, we're 3 points ahead. They've got a game in hand, plus a slightly better goal average. So it's still all got to be played for. We've got 3 games at home and 2 away, also with Liverpool away. So there's still a lot of football got to be played yet.
Well, George Graham putting everything into perspective there. And before the kick-off this evening, there will be a minute's silence for those who lost their lives in the Hillsborough disaster. But before that, this afternoon's results, a blank programme in Division One, but plenty of important matches elsewhere. Let's join up with Sue Carpenter at ITN.
Thanks, Elton. We start with results from Division 2. Barnsley 1, Oxford 0. Birmingham 1, Bradford 0. Blackburn against Bournemouth is an evening kick-off. Brighton 1, Hull 1. Chelsea 2, Stoke 1. Leeds 1, Walsall 0. Leicester against Oldham is an evening kick-off. Manchester City 1, Crystal Palace 1. Plymouth 0, Ipswich 1. Swindon 1, Shrewsbury 0. Watford 0, Sunderland 1. West Bromwich 3, Portsmouth 0. Division 3. Blackpool 4, Gillingham 1. Bolton 3, Huddersfield 1. Bristol Rovers 1, Southend 1. Cardiff 0, Chesterfield 1. Chester 2, Bury 0. Notts County against Brentford is an evening match, as is Port Vale against Northampton. Reading 0, Fulham 1. Sheffield United 1, Aldershot 0. Wigan 1, Preston 1. Wolves 2, Bristol City 0. In Division 4, Carlisle 2, Orient 1. Colchester 3, Halifax 2. Crewe 1, York 2. Doncaster 2, Grimsby 3. Hartlepool 2, Peterborough 1. Hereford against Tranmere is an evening kick-off. Lincoln 2, Burnley 3. Rochdale 2, Torquay 1. Scarborough 2, Exeter 1. Scunthorpe 0, Rotherham 0. And the last match, Stockport against Wrexham, is an evening kick-off.
Thanks very much indeed, Sue. Well, our half-time sequence here at Highbury this evening focuses on the relegation matches in Division 1. Those are the relegation matches, of course, played on Saturday. And we've also got the Simod Cup final, action from the Simod Cup final, goal action, 7 goals between Everton